Gonna make a video here about these outside lights. These are LED array, not a bulb inside, but just a LED array. I been having problems with them about 2 years after I bought them. I noticed one would get a little dimmer than the others. And you'll see when I show you in a minute, there's an array underneath with about 9 or so LEDs, and a few of the LEDs start failing. That's one problem these can have. Another problem people will have with them is they'll start flashing. Uh, and that could be the array again, or more likely it's the AC to DC converter, the driver inside the electronics. That starts failing. And the third thing is a photo sensor. I haven't had an issue there, but the photo sensor starts to fail and then it won't turn on. I got a little solution, a rework on it, so I don't have to deal with the array and the driver. We're just going to get rid of that. We're going to go to a standard bulb socket, and I think this will be better in the long run. Not only will we lose all the electronics inside it and have to keep replacing these, but we'll also be able to use a standard bulb, an LED bulb. They make those antique style LED bulbs, which I think are kind of neat, depending on the look of your house. So we'll tear this apart, show you how to operate, show you how each part works, and then go into changing it to a more standard medium socket bulb. Some people might say, why don't you just replace it and get new ones? They're not that expensive. I just happen to like the look of this with the cracked glass and all that. It is kind of nice you don't see the bulb inside, with the array mounted on the top and no bulb hanging down. But it won't be as noticeable at night when they're lit up. You won't notice it as much since it's cracked glass. Like I mentioned, you can see inside there's about 9 LEDs, I believe, in there, and half of mine are not working. So that happens to be the problem with this one. I've had the converters start to go bad, the AC to DC converters. I've replaced them all after about 2 years. You can go online and find them, a replacement. Just be careful you get the right model that's the correct voltage and the output milliamps are correct. You can replace these. You can find information online about it. But again, those failed again after about 2 years. Those started to fail. There's also a company online that makes replacement LED arrays for them. I'm sure you can buy them from the company themselves, but I'd rather not give them business since their lamps don't last that long. The online place also makes the array you could replace with, but again, we're starting to get into how often do we want to keep replacing and fixing these things. Just like I said, I bought a new converters and those failed after a couple years too. And I don't live in an extreme climate out in the Pacific Northwest. Don't get real cold, don't get real hot. So there's no reason for these things to fail that quickly, but they do. So currently I have mine just set up. I got it plugged into the wall and tied together there. You can make this change on the wall of your house. You don't have to do it and take it off the wall. If you got it mounted nice and siliconed, it's easy enough to do on the wall. So I just have this spare one in my garage, which I'm going to show you with. So first things first, always make sure you have no power to your electronics. Here's your warning. As everybody knows, electricity is dangerous. I'm no expert myself. I'm not an electrician, but you'll want to make sure the power is off. Use a meter or some sort of a voltage detector pen to make sure the power is off before messing with any electronics. And again, be careful with these. These are photo sensors. You'll get up there, you'll measure it, you'll think it's fine, no power, and you'll forget that the switch is actually on, and then you cover up the sensor or it start getting dark, and that's when the power will get kicked on. Also be careful, most of yours I'm sure are wired onto a light switch. If you got other members in your house, don't just trust the light switch because they'll inevitably come and turn the switch on for some unknown reason. You'll get electrocuted. So I would turn the breaker off in your house. Electricity is dangerous. You could get shocked. If you're weak, it can electrocute you and kill you. Or if you wire something wrong, you could burn your house down. So this is for information only. Protect yourself and be careful. Okay, these are simple to take apart. I just got 2 screws on top. The glass will come out of the bottom, move that out of the way. Here's the LED array I was talking about, and some of these individual ones will start failing, and you'll notice your lights start dimming compared to others. That's a very common problem. There's 3 screws here. Just comes out. They're nice enough to add a nice little connector here. Just press the lever, wiggle it off. Move that to the side for now. Okay, here's the electronics inside. The original converter's mounted nice in here with screws. The replacement didn't have the same spacing, which was fine. I just left it under there and it was held under the plate. This is the basics of how the system works. Your black and white wires here come from your house AC. The black's the hot, the white's common. The black goes directly into your photosensor. No wire nut on that. Goes into your photosensor. Also a common. Wire nutted in goes to your photosensor. So when you cover up the photosensor, a little relay inside clicks and sends voltage out on the red wire. Now this is your converter. Converts the AC into a DC driver for these LED lights. The blue wire ties to your common, and the brown wire ties to the red wire, which comes from the photosensor. So again, when your AC comes in, no power comes to here until it gets dark or you cover it with your hand. That'll put AC power out onto this wire and into here. Out the other end comes a red and black, which hooks to the connector, which hooks to your LED array. So this is the replacement one. I'm tired of messing with this stuff. So we are going to take this out of the system. And we are going to replace it with this. I found these in Amazon. Comes in a 6-pack, which is good. I got 6 lights out there. They just a little short pigtail. They make them in longer, 3 foot, 6 foot, I believe. This one just happens to be a 1-footer, which will work good for this. We'll be able to tie it up in there. Nice plastic housing. Comes with big washers and a lock nut. So we'll be able to mount it into the old plate. Now for this plate, we're going to remove this LED array. It's got 4 tiny screws. Four small screws are out. You can toss those. Now to get your array out, take some thermal paste, just that white stuff. We do not need this anymore. Go ahead and clip these wires so we can pull them through. Move that to the side. What I'm going to use to drill mine, this is about 1 3/8. I haven't measured it yet, but about there. And luckily, I happen to have a step bit here, a large one that goes up to 1 3/8. So this should work fine for me. If you don't have this, you can use a hole saw, knockout punch style, or even a Dremel to just drill it open big enough to fit this fitting in there. Got the drill. I won't bore you with the drilling. I'll come back in a moment. Okay, so I got the hole drilled out. The 1 3/8 is just a touch small for the threads on this. This must be metric. So no big deal. It's thin aluminum plate. I just had a reamer anyways to take the sharp edges off after drilling the hole. So just give it a few extra hard straight ones through here. It'll take off 1mm more, smooth it out, and this thing should slide right in after that. The kit comes with heavy-duty large washers, which I don't think we'll need for this scenario here. It fits nice and snug, so there's no need for that. Screw that down. And get a pair of pliers, give it a tighten. You want to snug this up decently so it don't work its way loose when you go to install and take out light bulbs. You don't want that thing backing off and you'll have to tear it all apart again. So that'll work there. Now we're down to the wiring. Strip some of this off. All right, so we got rid of the converter here, so we don't have any of that to deal with now. So we're down to neutrals, which will stay together here. Just twist those all together. And we'll also use our white as a neutral here. So we'll wrap that in with it. Your AC nut on there. Just a little back up. I like to put a little wrap of electrical tape on there. Not necessary, but makes me feel better about it. So I'll wrap that. Don't have to worry about it backing off now. And the black will go to the red. That sounds weird for the DC 12 volt guys, but because of this photo sensor, they made it a red wire. That'll tie to the black hot. Put the plug, AC nut again, and a little wrap of tape. Okay, that should take care of the wiring. We just got to button this thing back up here. Put this in. Make sure our holes all line up here. Looks like mine will go this way. Get the screws started. It's gonna fight me. Go to this one instead. There we go. All right, got that on. We can move to the glass. It's got the 2 screws here, 3 and 9 o'clock positions. Okay, that's it. We're back together. Now we'll go ahead and get a bulb in. This is just a standard 60 watt equivalent LED. All right, plug this in. Hopefully don't let no smoke out. And here we go. There we are. This LED, it's in the warmer range. I think it's 2700. So the original LED array was a much brighter white, and that was one of the things I didn't like about it. I don't mind that bright white on certain things, shop lights and stuff like that, but I don't know, it's just too harsh of a white, and it didn't match the other lights shining through the windows of the house and stuff like that. So I never liked that about the color temperature. So now I can switch it to this. If I want to put a bright white bulb in there, I could throw that in. You can put in daylight style bulbs if you want that. So now you have the options to change whatever color temperature bulb you want in there. And one other option we have that I thought might look kind of neat, because this one you can see the bulb now. It don't look bad. But now I picked up one of these old school kind of looking bulbs here, because this looks a little older school. If you got a brand new house, it's not, you don't want to use something like this. It'd look kind of weird. A bright white bulb LED is probably more fitting for a brand new modern style looking house. And mine's not that old of a house. These bulbs look cool. They got a slight amber tint to them, the spirals in it. So let's throw this thing in there and see how it looks. That's pretty cool looking too. What do you guys think? Put in the comments which one you like better. You like the old school bulb with the spirals, or do you just think a standard LED bulb in there will work? One other thing I didn't mention was the photo sensors rated for 32 watts, I believe. So not a big deal. Most LEDs only run 9 to 13 watts. For most standard ones, you can get a real honking one that'll pull a little more than that, but still all well with under the threshold of what the photo sensor can handle. Now don't be going and put like an incandescent bulb in there, you know, a 7500 watt incandescent bulb. It'll put a big strain on this. You might end up burning this thing up eventually, if not right away, because when you turn lights first on, you know, there's that surge of power, so it might bring you over the 32 watt capability of this. You never want to run electronics to their maximum capability. They'll just wear out sooner usually. So yeah, I hope that helps guys out there and gives you another option of things you can do. And these old school style bulbs, they come in all different designs and shapes, so you could pick one that fits your preference. Again, safety. Always be careful with electricity. You could kill yourself. You could burn your house down. Don't follow what I do. I'm not an electrician. This is just a little fiddling thing I like to do here. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'll see if I can answer them for you. But pretty straightforward overall. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you.